Hello everybody and welcome to my alpha world. Feel free to put this video on when you're studying or doing chores or something. Anyway, I was in this chunk error pit that I have by my mining base, just trying to pick up some sand for some windows, and I noticed that it lends a really interesting view to the colony. Check this out. Got all our buildings over here, the little overhang, and then the massive canopy structure that I'm still working on. It's kind of cool. I only managed to find 20 sand though, which isn't cool. I did come here a lot in the past looking for sand. Maybe you can tell there's little holes here and there. It's mostly a gravel pit, which I like gravel pits, but right now it's not what I need. I might have to just go pick up the sand from somewhere else. Maybe I'll find some somewhere. Maybe I'll find some sand over this side. Ooh, flowers. Seems weird to get excited for flowers, but there is no bone meal in alpha. Any flowers I want to place, I have to find, and look at that, jackpot. Boom, about to do some torch mining. Three stacks is good enough for now. Also, there's a lot of coal here, so if I'm ever in a pinch, I can just come back around here and look, there's lots of caves. I managed to find 3 mushrooms, which don't spread in this version. At least they spread very slowly. In beta 1.7.3, they spread super fast. They cover every single cave that you haven't lit up underneath your base, head to toe. But in this version, it's not quite the same way. So similar to finding a flower, finding a mushroom is also kind of a big deal. And I would never turn it into stew, because I might be able to use it as decoration. Alright, I got the sand in the oven. While we're waiting on that to cook, let's take a look at the large warehouse building I have over here. So, oh my gosh, look. The trees grew. Wow. Perfect. Well, this one's not perfect. It's a little too tall. Deadly Dirtblock left a comment on my last video. I was trying to grow these trees in this garden so I could use the leaves, because you can't move leaves with shears. There are no shears. There's no way to move them around. You have to grow trees and then kind of mine the leaves until you get what you want. I wanted to shape some bushes out of these trees, but they weren't growing. I put 2 saplings here and they just weren't growing. Deadly Dirtblock, who's basically a walking old Minecraft encyclopedia, told me that I needed to add a little bit more height so my trees would grow. And they did. This one's a little too tall, so I'm gonna break it down. They did both grow. Alright. Anyway, I started working on the interior of this building, and I wanted to put tons of chests and big rows here. So I started on that, but chests are expensive. They're very expensive. That's the thing. I don't have enough wood. I am kind of out of wood. This is like all that I have right now. I used to have a lot, but I used most of it building that canopy out there. And now I'm out, so that means that I'm gonna need to take a trip to the wood farm. But before I do that, I'll show you the rest of what's going on here. By the way, I tried decorating a little bit because, again, I wish I could use bushes, but it's just way too hard to get a tree to grow in here. I need to have a stairwell going on here. I haven't done that yet, so right now we have the dirt stairs. I finished the interior walls of every floor. I just need windows, hence the glass I'm cooking. Alright, and I changed the roof design, and you know what? You guys didn't really get a good look at it. Anyways, here's the canopy progress so far. We're just about halfway, and it looks like I missed a block right there. I have a torch addiction or something, because look at that. That's actually quite expensive. Good lord. I still have a lot of dirt to place, and once I do, it'll be finally covered, and I'll start mining underneath and getting all the stone without having to worry about all the snow falling on top of it, keeping it out of my eyes, keeping things nice and clean. That's really cool. The torches create this crisscross pattern on here. Looks like there's some snow here and there I need to clean off. But yeah, that's where we're at in this. The thing is, I'm completely out of dirt. I have no more dirt left, at least at this base. We have to go get some. So that's 2 things that we need to go get, and they are coincidentally both at the tree farm. So that's where we're going to be going today. All right. Well, looks like we'll be getting there a lot sooner than I thought. There's the tree farm. This is world spawn. I didn't plan that. God. Anyway, at least we're close. Actually, let me do something. I'm gonna relog. The reason I'm relogging is because chunk loading works differently in old Minecraft. See, in modern, you load a radius of chunks around you, and as you move, a certain radius around you stays loaded, and all chunks outside that radius become unloaded. Well, in old Minecraft, everywhere you travel loads chunks, and they stay loaded the entire play session. That's why sometimes your game can crash due to lack of memory, because you've loaded so much of the world by traveling. So that's why I reset the game. I like touching stars. There too. So by relogging, it unloads all chunks, including the where I just died, so I won't lose the items that I just dropped everywhere. Anyway, here's this Mario statue I made. Alright, this is the work in progress tree farm. I guess I haven't really shown this on camera yet, except on a stream once. And not a single tree has grown. Cool. Oh. Oh. It's a miracle. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Alright, lots of dirt. I guess this is what we came for, right? Yeah, we have more than enough, more than I can carry. I also want to bring this gravel here. Well, since none of these trees have really grown, I can't do a lot of harvesting, so I'm going to go back to the mining base, and while I'm at the mining base, this place will stay loaded, meaning those trees should all be grown by the time I come back. We're going to test that theory. There's the center of the world obelisk. You can just kind of barely see it on your screens probably because it's probably pretty dark. It'll be day by the time we reach the mining base. Kind of knowing where this is and my world helps me orient myself and tells me where everything else is in relation to this thing. Eventually, this world center, I want to make like this gigantic metropolitan megaplex thing. I want to combine a castle and a skyscraper. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's a massive project for another time. For now, it just tells me where I need to go. Here from the distance, you can kind of see the new roof that I put together. I feel like it just works a lot better with this style of the build instead of that slope thing I was trying to do. And of course, we're still missing lots of windows. And would you look at that, all of my stuff still hasn't despawned, but I have to put all this dirt away first before I can even think about picking that up. Oh. I just got scared for a second. I thought I was dying, but no, it's because items have a very short, like, rendered range. Fun fact, the smaller an entity's hitbox is, the closer to you that it'll stop rendering. Does that make sense? Like, you can only see items within a certain radius. Same with chickens, but you can see gas from really far away. This is a quirk of the old game. I don't think this is how this works for most modern versions, but this is just a weird thing that I figured out. The size of the hitbox is directly correlated with how far away you can see it, or how far away it renders. Alright, well I got my glass, now I'm just gonna try to finish up these windows. Hopefully this is enough for what I need. And that is all that lasted me. I finished the second story, almost finished the third story. The fourth story is definitely not done. I'm willing to bet that I need probably 4 stacks of glass to finish everything up. Also, I want to finish this roof up, that's why I grabbed the gravel. I want to put gravel on top of here. On the top of a lot of large buildings or skyscrapers, they just pour gravel on top, and it's to keep like the tarp roof down or something like that. So I'm just gonna go down the stairs because I am not gonna risk that again. As I was saying before, here's the building. Here's the canopy. We are almost halfway done with it. It takes me so long to place all this dirt. It takes me so freaking long. I just listen to off-grid YouTubers or like bushcraft videos or something while I'm doing this, or why I'm mining a lot of stone. I don't know, I like doing it. Like just before this I was placing lots of dirt and I was watching a guy talk about Coturnix quail, and he was incubating and hatching them, and they were super cute when they popped out. It makes me want to have quail, but I'm not sure if I should just have chickens. Like that's kind of normal, pretty sustainable. I mean, quail have their benefits, but they're tiny. That's the thing, I feel like you need a lot of them, whereas the chickens you could probably just have like 6 and be good. Topical. This is the underneath of the canopy. Looking pretty atmospheric so far. So when it's finished, just imagine this kind of view, except longer, because we're still missing quite a bit of the roof tiles. Dang, this project has been huge. It's been a lot of fun though. It's been pretty satisfying getting it done. I trimmed away all the land off the edge of this thing because it was partially buried in some spots, like here and here. Yeah, over here I kind of like trimmed the land away from all the pillars. But yeah, that being said, we need dirt and we need wood. And there's more dirt at the tree farm, and there's certainly more wood. So let's head on over. I just found another mushroom under a tree here. You know what I'd really like to find is sugarcane. Sugarcane normally spawns all over the place, but there's no water because everything is turned to ice. So that means sugarcane won't generate next to it. Sugarcane doesn't generate next to ice. which means it doesn't really generate anywhere in the world. You have to be lucky and hope that world generation has created like a large tree that overhangs a cliff that's above some water, and that prevents the ice from generating there, which means there's water, and then also hope that sugarcane generates next to that water. It's a very, very small chance, but it is possible. That's how people get sugarcane in this snowy world type. I guess I forgot to mention the entire world is like this, snowing all the time. But yeah, that's the only way to get sugarcane in this type of world in this version. I've seen people do it. I just want to get mine so I can start making bookshelves and things like that. Well, it'd be nice with some roses, but I never seem to be able to find those. It's literally just dandelion fields everywhere out here. Okay, check it out. Look, on top of that hill, I doubt you can see this, but I see like 1 pixel and it's red. I'm going over there. Boom. Look at that. I don't always go flower hunting just because it's so tedious, but it's good to have some in stock. Anyway, hey, this is kind of a cool view of the tree farm area. I hate that the slabs are there because they just look so weird. So maybe for future expansions in the tree farm, I need to kind of incorporate the height limiter, the thing you put over the tree to stop it from turning into a large tree. I need to incorporate that into the build somehow. But that bell tower looks really cool. By the way, I'm drinking the last of my Iron Goddess of Mercy oolong tea. It's an oolong with like rose peel and lemon zest, I think. You know, I've noticed that a lot of tea stores, they have the same name for this stuff, but they all do it kind of differently. This one was pretty good, had a woody flavor. I was really craving it today, and it's the last of it. I'm enjoying it for sure. And wow. I don't think this means my theory was proven wrong. I know this is how this works. I just think I'm unlucky. Only 2 trees. Oh, boom. 1 other tree grew. I don't know. I promise that's how chunk loading works in this version, but yeah, I must have just planted these when I first left, except for those 2, I guess. But yeah, look at my dandelion to rose ratio, to brown mushroom ratio. It's unfair. Also, here's my 1 fishing rod that does nothing because there's no fishing in this version. Watch. You know, in real life, it's a full moon tonight. Full moons are awesome. If you live in a rural area, it just brightens everything up. You can see everything, even though it's dark. It's really cool. Also, I just made myself another cup of this tea. I just reboiled the same leaves. That's it for Iron Goddess of Mercy. Not quite as tasteful the second time. Anyway, I made 8 axes. A stone axe gets me 65 blocks. So I'm expecting about 8 stacks of logs from this endeavor. I'm not leaving till I get it. And you know what? That probably won't be enough for all the chests I need to make, but it'll be enough to satisfy me for now. So we're gonna stick with that. Yeah, since it's daytime, I figured we might as well check out this little bell tower that I built. Here's a fun, not so fun fact about this tower. I originally had a completely different video planned for the very first video on this channel. And in that video, I built this structure. I was really proud of it. I thought I had some really good commentary, but when I went to look over the video files, I realized I had my mic muted the entire time. I lost the entire thing. So I went and I tried to like dub it over and pretend that I was actually playing the game or like giving live commentary, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know, just not very authentic, and it was just kind of dumb, so I gave it up. And I put this whole project aside for another time, and you guys get a different first video on this channel. Regardless of all the drama, I still really like this build, so let's just take a quick little look at it. Here's our beautiful minimalist interior. I like this checkerboard pattern I put on the stairs. Up here, not a whole lot, but it does lead right into the tower. You can see out these windows into the progress of the tree farm. Looks like some are really growing. And alpha trees take like 2 to 3 days or something crazy to grow. So me going there and back actually really did help with the progress. Let's go up. Just another room. Through the center. And there we have our bell. This is the alpha gold block. The old gold texture was this really goofy, like lighter top half, darker bottom half, but it looks really cool and iconic. It was changed pretty soon after this version, but I like it. I think it fits alpha pretty well. We get a great view from here, by the way. You're probably wondering what that is. That is one of my first big dig projects. I plan on building a castle here as one of the first builds I ever planned on building. I decided that the center of the castle would also extend into the ground and have this basement type feature. So I started working on it, and it was just kind of a way to like passively collect cobblestone for other builds, but I eventually dug it all out and decided I needed way more cobblestone, so I started that mining project over there. This is kind of on hold until I have more stone to throw around, but yeah, I do want to build a castle here. I want to build a tree farm themed castle, and so far we just have this little courtyard and this little bell tower, but I want to keep it going and keep building more structures that hold more trees so I don't have to wait for them to grow. I can just mine tons at a time. That'd be really cool. And then this main building, I want to have like this basement that extends down, but on top, you know, there'll be hallways that lead to other parts of the build or even railways. So lots of plans. Lots of plans. I'm not too pressed on completing them by any kind of time frame. This obsidian took forever to mine. I think it looks really cool, so it's definitely worth it in my book. Anyway, back to tree farming. Okay, this is kind of random, but I want to test a weird theory of mine. This theory starts with a fact. All trees generated upon world generation will have snow layers on them if you generate a snow world. They'll all have snow layers on them, but if you ever grow a tree, snow will never fall on the leaves because snow isn't meant to fall on leaves. They're transparent blocks. That's fact number one. Keep that in mind. Here's fact number two, or really kind of a quirk. I have to get up on top of here for this to work. So, like snow layers, torches can't go on top of leaf blocks. But if I go to options and change fancy graphics to fast graphics, leaves look like this. And I can place torches on top. It's a little bug. So my theory was, proven correct already. I was wondering if I could make it snow on top of leaves if I just switched fancy graphics to fast. And that's all it takes. Okay, so normally snow layers would never fall on these. Isn't that interesting? Little alpha quirks like this. Snow is just going to keep accumulating on top of these. Boop, boop, boop. And they're going to stay in there too, unless I break the leaf blocks. Check this out. I just spammed torches on this tree. And now, back to fancy graphics. Look at that. Oh, interesting. It looks like when there's a block update next to it, it'll break because it realizes it can't be on there. Yeah, see? That's snow. There's some snow here. The torch caused the snow to melt, breaking the snow, which updated the torch and broke the torch. But other than that, looks like my theory was proven correct. See, right now, my tree farm just isn't growing fast enough, so I'm resorting to chopping trees just all around here and replanting them. It's just not as fast as I need it to be, so that's why I really need to start expanding this farm. My idea, I think I said before, was to make a castle, and each kind of structure part of the castle, each basic cube, would have a roof. But instead of a roof, it would be a tree farm on top. That was kind of the idea. So when you look at it from a distance, the roofs are all big fluffy piles of leaves. Like, I thought it would be really kind of a cool vibe. That's the current plan. We'll see where it goes from there. I do know it's going to require a lot of stone. To start my stone quarry, I'm going to need a lot of wood for the chests. You know, it's kind of like a little bit of a cycle. All these farms that I'm making, all these bases that I'm working on, I like that they depend on each other. I feel like having them depend on each other has really motivated me to continue working on this world as much as I have. I have a very long-term goal that I want to eventually reach. I have to get these 4 bases out here up to speed and running before I attempt the large project, which I'll discuss at another time. But yeah, I'm just out here chopping some trees because waiting for them to grow is just going way too slow. So check this out. This is the front of the garden. I wrote here, I don't know if you can see it, Zone Alpha, capacity 43 trees. I'd like to have a sign for this for every little tree farm area that I have in this future castle build. But yeah, this is how many this is meant to grow at a time. It's kind of an odd number because back here, there's an indent. I decided to be a little creative. Instead of making this just a rectangle, I pushed it back and I was able to fit 3 more trees in here. Anyway, I need you guys to know something. I just made the most bomb bibimbap I've ever had. I think it's pronounced bibimbap. It's like some Korean thing with lots of different vegetables and rice and sometimes meat or kimchi. I had leftover bulgogi and I made some rice. I threw the bulgogi on it. I chopped up all these different vegetables I had in my fridge, real fine. And then I made a sauce. I made a custom sauce based on the flavors that I wanted, and it was absolutely perfect. Finishing touch, I fried an egg, but left the yolk runny and put it on top with some sesame seeds. I'll throw up a picture of it since I've been throwing up a picture of something every episode. I think I want to continue doing that. But man, it was amazing. It was delicious. I don't think I could ever make this again. It was just a perfect storm where I had everything I wanted to put in it I just had it with me already. I don't think it's going to happen again, but I'm glad that I was able to make it because it was really good. If you haven't ever tried Bibimbap, I would recommend it. I would recommend you go to like a Korean barbecue place. Korean food is my favorite East Asian food by far. Anyway, with that, I think that this video is going to come to a close. Ooh. I think this video is going to come to a close. I want to experiment with different times for the videos on this channel, see what kind of does better, what people like more. Actually, why don't you guys leave me a comment what length the video you prefer to watch. I feel like some people will just say like 30 minutes because they want more content, but like what makes a better video? What makes a better viewing experience? Just having 15 minutes to watch or like a half hour? Sometimes I see a half hour video and I don't click on it because it's like, well, I don't have that kind of time. So I'm just curious. Just let me know your opinion. Leave me a comment everything else. Again, it's a second channel. It's just an experiment and see what happens. I feel like it's doing pretty well. You know, I've already got 300 something subscribers, so thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. And with the moonrise, I'll call that the end of the video. So if you found this enjoyable, please leave a comment. I've been Moxer, and have a good night.